Hello and welcome back to Yarn Tea and Books. My name is Tasha, and along with my husband, we are the humans behind Frogget Yarns hand-dyed yarns and mobile yarn truck. So we sell our yarns in person in our mobile yarn truck as well as on our website. So welcome in, welcome back if you're returning, welcome if you are a new viewer. Thank you for stopping in and chatting with me. And yeah, this is my little corner of YouTube where I share what I'm making, what I'm reading, excuse me, what we're up to as far as yarn and events and where we're going to be. So I hope you'll stick around and join us. For Mug Watch this week, I have a mug from one of my favorite potters. This is Seasoned Pottery. This was the very first mug that I bought from her a couple years ago. This is her Wildflowers mug. It's still a favorite. I haven't seen her make this in a while. She has been having pretty regular updates. I think almost weekly or every other week. I know because I've tried 3 times now to get a dragon mug. She's only had one in every update and I've missed it every time. So really sad because it was a really cool dragon mug, but I'll keep trying. So that's this one. It is still a favorite, and it just felt right because we're having some nice, lovely, sunny summer weather, and yeah, felt like a good time to have some wildflowers. I am just drinking my regular chai blend. It's my second cup because it's not even 10 a.m. yet. So what are we going to talk about this week? We are going to talk about a little bit of spinning, and I had a question about how I set the yarn after it is spun, so I will explain that. We're going to talk about some new cast ons. We're going to talk about what those cast ons are. They're my current whips. What has happened to my other whips. A little bit of shop news. There's not much new, just some dates that I want to pass along for things that are leaving the shop and things that are coming in. And then some book chat. So let's get into it. Let's first start with FOs. And this isn't completely finished, but I did finish the first bobbin of my spin. So this is 100% Targhee from Bauer Family Farm. And this is 4 ounces on my bobbin. And I am currently spinning the second braid. I bought 2 braids of the same color. I'm currently spinning the second braid on another bobbin, and then I'll apply them together. So that one is done. Love the way that looks. And I'm very happy with that. That's it for FOs. And that's not even really finished. Just that bobbin is finished. But I did have a question last week from someone who asked, can I explain how I cure or set the yarn that I've spun? So once I've spun it and I've plied it, I put it on my niddy noddy. So if you're not a spinner, to get it off of here after it's spun and plied, you need to get it onto something that will make a skein. So this is my niddy noddy. This is from Kromsky. I've had this since my very first spinning wheel, which is also a Kromsky. And you take it from the bobbin and you're winding it around this, and it makes a skein. I take it off of there after it is on there, and I've put in some ties to keep the skein together. The way that I was taught and the way I always do it is I then fill a tub or a bucket or whatever, not a bathtub, but like, you know, a tub that you can fill with water. I fill it with water as hot as my house water gets. Let it come up to heat as hot as it goes. Add some wool wash. You can use regular dish detergent, but wool wash you don't have to rinse out. So I throw in some wool wash. I usually use soak, and I put the yarn in all opened up, like it's not skeined up like this. put the yarn in and let it soak until the water is cold. So an hour, 2 hours, it doesn't really matter. I let it soak fully and completely. And then I put it in my spin dryer, which I have for the dyeing, get it all spun out, get all the water out, and then I hang it up to dry. Some people will add like a weight to theirs to weigh it down. I do not, only because I don't want to pull the stretch out of it. I want it to do whatever the wool wants to do. So I hang it up to dry. Before it dries completely, we do something called thwacking. And some people will do it where they'll put their hands in the skein and just like snap really hard all around the skein. Twist it, snap, twist it, snap. I do that, but I also will just bang it up against like the wall of the shower. Just bang it, twist it a little bit, bang it again. You want to set the twist. So that's called thwacking. You just have to hit it against something. And then you hang it up, you let it dry, and then you make a skein. My nitty knotty is a 2-yard nitty knotty. So I just have to count how many strands I have on one side, multiply it by 2, and that gives me the approximate yardage. I got approximately 296 yards on this skein, but this skein is also 122 grams. So bigger than, you know, a normal skein of yarns. This was a little over 4 ounces. So that is how I set the yarn. Really hot water. I don't touch it. I'm not in there, you know, agitating it, because that could felt it. I just put it in the water, push it down gently so it's all under the water with some wool wash. Let it sit in there as long as it takes for the water to be completely cool. Spin it out, give it a good smack a few times, and hang it up. Let it dry. It's ready to go. The twist is set, ready to go. So that's how I do it. That's how I was taught. I think that's how most people do it. The hot water is not going to hurt your yarn, even if it's non-superwash, as long as you're not in there agitating it. The felting only happens when you're agitating it in the hot water. It needs friction and heat. If you're just putting it in there and you're letting it go and you're letting it cool without touching it, you're not going to hurt it at all. So that is how I set my spun yarn, and it's ready to go. I think this is definitely going to be a grid Gambit cowl. I just have to pick a contrast color. So that's that. That'll take us to whips. And you guys, I have put my Douglas Cardi and my Almu shawl to the side. I need a few weeks break from them. I think because they're both very similar in colors. They're very fall colors. I needed something different. I was finding that I didn't even want to knit. I wasn't reaching to knit at all. In fact, since I filmed last week, I did not pick up and start knitting anything until Monday or Tuesday of this week, because I didn't want to work on them. I'm bored of the colors. I needed a break. So I decided, you know what? I'm the boss of me. I'm the boss of my knitting. I can do what I want. So I started Mr. Froggett's Grid Gambit Cowl. And this is a design by Samantha Guerin. And it is like a kind of triangular cowl that you then seam up the back. Anyway, I showed his yarn. He picked this at Maryland Sheep and Wool this year. So he picked this Bioluminescence. This is from Feederbrook Farms. Let me find the tag. This is from Feederbrook Farms. There's the tag. And this is their Bioluminescence color. He loved that. And he paired it with our Rambouillet DK in the, I think it's ash. I think he chose ash. So that's that's what he chose. And so I started that because I just needed some new colors. So here we go. This is where I cast on. And so this is going to be the top of the cowl, and it's worked on the bias. So this is what we have. We started out with purple, we've moved into the green, and now I can see we're coming up on the yellow. So that's what we've got. I put a little starfish progress keeper on there. That's from Kelsey of the Littlest Charm Co. I needed something summery. So I've started his grid Gambit cowl. He's very happy. And again, I started here. This is the top. You get a nice I-cord edging, and it's worked on the bias. So at some point, I'm on the second chart. I've finished the first chart. So I'm on the second chart where it's just going to continue to grow before I start decreases, essentially. So that's that. Yeah. And I'm happy that I started something that is not fall colored. So we've got that going. I love reading the charts. It goes very quickly. So we've got grid Gambit going. And then I decided that it was time to start something for me for the summer. So the Boxy Blooms cardigan, this is by Evelyn and Peter Crochet. She's also Rachel Misner. When she announced, I follow her on socials. So when she announced this, that it was dropping, I was instantly in love. This is such a cute little crochet cardigan to throw over a tank top, over a sundress, and I knew I wanted to make it. So I did order the exact yarn that she used because I didn't have anything in my stash that would have worked. I wanted no wool. This is cotton and bamboo. So this is from Lion Brand. This is their Kobu line. And it's 232 yards in 100 grams. And it is cotton and bamboo. So I got this colorway called Plume. It's the exact same colorway that she used in her sample. And those are actually my colors. And did a couple of swatches until I got the right hook size, and I have started. So this is the back panel. It's made in pieces. So you knit the back, which is essentially a square. Then you knit the two fronts, which form the V-neck, and then you knit or crochet little sleeves. So this is what I've got so far. This is my back. There's another summery sea turtle from Kelsey. So that's what I've got so far. It's coming along. It's really, really fun to work. The only change I made is her pattern calls for puff stitches. I do not like to work a puff stitch. Actually, I find it very difficult to work in this yarn. This yarn is a lot of plies. So if you can see, it's a lot of ply. I don't know if I can. Anyway, it's very splitty. And I was finding that working the puff stitches, I couldn't get the hook. I tried multiple hooks. I use a Furls hook. And I tried my metal ones, and they weren't working. And so I pulled out the resin one. This one seems to be working better, but I still don't like the puff stitch. So we're not doing the puff stitch. Instead, so this is where, oops, here we go. This is where the puff stitches are supposed to be. I'm just doing a double crochet cluster stitch. And it's giving kind of the same look, but I like it a lot better. So that's my Boxy Blooms cardigan, and I'm having a good time with that. And it's scratching that itch of having something in a different color on my needles. and giving me a break. So I'm going to just let them sit for a couple of weeks, just take a break from them. I'm going to finish the entirety of Mr. Froggett's Grid Gambit Cowl, probably finish this because this will not take long. Crochet is fairly quick. And then I'll get back to those. I'm also getting ready to start a pair of socks in a special colorway from our 8th anniversary boxes that are coming up. So that'll lead us into shop news. First thing in shop news, Advents, the pre-orders will close June 21st. That's the cutoff date. I am very, very close to max capacity. So wherever I'm at, when I shut that off, I will add to that what I need to round out my batches, and that'll be it. So there's not going to be a lot of extras. I can tell you that right now because we are very close to max capacity and I'm not going to over die. So I'm talking single digits of all 3 calendar options as far as extras, and very, very low single digits. So pre-orders for that close June 21st. Our July Lily Pad Club pre-orders, as always, will go live June 15th. So June 15th to the end of the month is your pre-order window to order July's club. That way you have it at the beginning of July. I'm not going to release the book yet. Yeah, next weekend's podcast, you'll get to see the book that we're reading for July. Yeah, so that'll be coming up. And our 8th anniversary boxes. So I've been sneaking peeks about this. We've picked a theme, and I will just show you. That's the theme. That's all you get. The yarn is developed. That's what I'm going to start socks in soon. And the boxes are going to contain a sock set, a book, a special bag from an amazing bag maker, and quite literally the world's most amazing charm from Kelsey. That'll be the box. I don't have a price yet. I'm trying to finalize and get my cost for some of the items still, but I'm thinking in the realm of $75 to $80 if you want the whole box. There will also be a separate listing where you can just get the yarn. If the box does not interest you, or it's not the weight that you want, the boxes will all be fingering weight sock sets. They're all going to have to be the same in order for me to do it the easiest way, because there will be very, very limited. I'm talking 25 boxes. That's all I'm going to have. So they will all be fingering weight sock sets for the boxes. If you just want the yarn because you want a different weight, that will be a separate listing where you can just order the yarn. Kelsey is also going to offer the charm in her shop on Etsy on the same day that the boxes go live. So the boxes will go live July 1st. That is our anniversary. That is the first time we had the trailer out at a local ice cream shop and had the doors open and sold made our first sale of yarn. So July 1st, our 8th anniversary boxes will go live. Again, very limited. There are 25. That's it. So if you want one, or you're thinking you want one, when they're gone, they're gone. They will ship in the middle of the month because I have given my makers time to get their product to me. So the pre-order will stay open from the 1st to the 15th, or until they're sold out, whichever comes first. I don't think they're going to last 2 weeks, to be honest. I mean, I hope they don't. It would warm my heart if they sold out, but I can only make so many working with the makers that I'm working with. They only had, you know, time in their schedules to make a limited amount of these items. So I can promise you they're so, so good. I've seen all of the items. They are amazing. So be ready. Those are the dates you need to remember. June 21st, Advent pre-orders done. June 15th, July club opens for pre-order. July 1st, anniversary boxes will go up. And I'll bring that up again. So not a big deal. Today, if you're watching this when it comes out, today for me is Thursday, June 5th. This will go up Saturday, June 7th. We will be at the Fayette County Fiber Festival in Dunbar, PA, which is south of Pittsburgh. It's a one-day only show, and that's our last show of spring season. So we get some time off. We get the summer off. We are planning a beach vacation, which I'm very, very much looking forward to. So end of spring show season. I'm ready for the break. I'm ready to be off the road so I can dig into the dye pans and get the Advent colors developed and ready to go, because I'm super, super excited about that. And that's it for shop news, folks. There's not a lot. I will keep reminding you of those dates, as I always do on our socials. Excuse me. As I always do on our socials. So don't worry about that. It's not the last time you're going to hear about it. But that will lead us into book chat. And we're going to chat about it. So last week, I was still listening to Fourth Wing. I was doing the graphic audio version, and I finished it. If you've read this series, there is a scene. Here's what I found. No, Siri. There is a scene where one of the characters perishes. And it is gut-wrenching. It was gut-wrenching to read it. It was even harder to listen to it in a regular audio version, but to listen to it in graphic audio. So this is where there's a voice actor for every character, and it's acted out. It is really like a movie in your head. For this scene, I was spinning away on my spinning wheel, and I knew this scene was coming up. And when it happened, I had to stop. I had to get up. I had to walk it off. I was bawling mess when that scene happened. It's so much more, I don't even know the word. It's so much more, words. It's harder to hear. It's so much more impactful. There we go. When you're hearing it acted out, not just read, you know, as if I was reading the book to you. It's acted out. Amazing. I'm loving listening to the graphic audio versions of these. So that is finished. I also started and finished, again, one of my most anticipated reads of the year, and that is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. When I tell you how much this blew away my expectations for this book, and my expectations were pretty high. So she wrote the duology, the Shepherd King duology. I think it's the Shepherd King. One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns. Gothic, moody, totally different magic system than what we normally get. Again, this was another kind of magic system. I don't know where she comes up with these things. Based on omens. So physical objects that give the characters in this story their magic. This was amazing. 10 out of 10 stars. This was so, so good. I loved every minute of it. No notes. This is not a romantasy. I think I've seen a lot of people say, oh, it's her newest romantasy. This is not a romantasy. This is a fantasy. I'm talking feminine rage. She's tired of being, you know, stamped on and used. Feminine rage fantasy. There is a bit of a romance that happens later in the book, and it's not even well fleshed out in this first book. I see it going more places in book 2, but it is just enough. But our female main character is pretty badass, and her companion in this story, that is who I fell in love with. Not even the love interest, her companion. If her companion does not make it through this series, I will be gutted, because he had me laughing out loud, crying. This was so good. I say run, don't walk. Get a copy of this book. Read it. It's amazing. It transported me. All her writing style and her worlds are, they always just seem like they're, you know, these stone villages shrouded in mist, and oh, so good. This was so good. It did not disappoint. Loved every single page of it. Cannot wait for book 2. Next, I read, what else? Oh yeah, I finished The Green Kingdom by Cornelia Funk. I needed this after The Night and the Moth. This is a middle grade book. This was charming and sweet and not what I expected. I thought this was, you know, like fantasy and magic. It's not. You guys, this is the sweetest little story. It's only a little over 200 pages. Cornelia Funk is just an amazing writer. I love everything that she does. This was really good. I loved this one too. I actually finished this morning with my tea, and yeah, this was sweet. So this was a great uplifting read after The Night and the Moth. I am now listening to the graphic audio of Iron Flame. I have finished part 1. I am listening to part 2. Again, so good. So good. And even for me, an even better experience than reading it myself or listening to the regular audio. Just absolutely amazing. I'm going to have to find some more of my favorite series on graphic audio and listen to them because it's so good. I also started our June book pick, which is To Kill a Shadow by Catherine Quinn. And I just started this morning. I was up earlier than usual. So I grabbed my Kindle and tucked myself back into bed because the dogs were still sleeping. And I got to chapter 10. So I'm only about 60 pages in, and I mean, not much has happened. So I don't have anything to say. I'm interested. So yeah, that will lead us to, what am I picking up next? So I'm listening to Iron Flame. I'm reading our June book pick. I want another middle grade to read. That's always great to take me out of the high fantasy. So I had picked this up. We were in Hanover and we went to Books A Million, and I found this one. This is called Wild Oak by Cece Harrington. And this just sounded real intriguing. So yeah, I'm going to start that. That's something I want to crack into. And then I also want to crack into A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic. This is like a cozy fantasy, and I love a good cozy fantasy. And the next one just came out. I actually want to go pick that up. We have to run an errand later today. We have an appointment at 1 o'clock. So there's a lot that has to happen today. I have yarn downstairs that we dyed yesterday that still needs to be twisted, tagged, put in the trailer before tomorrow, before we leave. So it's a busy day. It's going to be a long work day. Filming this, getting this edited and uploaded, getting the yarn done. Like I said, we have an appointment at 1 o'clock and we have some errands to run since we'll be in an area where we can have our appointment, run the errands all at the same time. So it's going to be a busy day, but that's okay. We don't have to leave early tomorrow morning. We're only driving out to Pittsburgh. It's 3 hours for us. We could literally leave at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and still be out there. All we have to do is park the trailer and we're done. So park the trailer. We'll pick up our friend Robin. Robin from the Yarnbirds truck is also vending with us. She's the other truck at this show. And we are her Uber for the weekend. So we will pick a time. We'll both meet out there, get the truck situated, and we'll all go grab a bite to eat. So yeah, that's my list of books. Yeah, that I'm reading, finished. It was a good reading week. Very good reading week. And I think that's it, folks. That is it. I have been just busy working away in the studio. We had a lot of yarn to dye to fill in the trailer after the Great Lakes show. Our friends Katie and Dean from the Yarn Adventure truck took some yarn off of our truck for their truck. So we had to fill in all of that. They took one of our bases. They cleaned us out of that one to have on their truck. And so, yeah, we've had to fill that all back in, which is always fun. It lets me put in different colors that, you know, we maybe didn't have before. So it's all good. So let me know, what have you been making? What are you working on? Are you someone who works on your fall and winter projects in the summer so that you have them ready for fall? Or do you work on summer projects in the summer? I do that, and then, you know, it's September when they finally get done, and then you can wear them for like 3 weeks, and then it's cold. But that's okay. What are you reading? Have you read anything good? Have I convinced you to read The Night and the Moth? It's so good. It is such a good fantasy story. This book, I will tell you right now, this book has cemented Rachel Gillig as an author for me, as someone I will just automatically buy whatever she puts out. That's how good it was. She has now entered my list of auto buy author. She's up there with Cassandra Clare, Sarah J. Maas. If they write it, I will buy it. That's how good this book is. Exceeded all expectations. So yeah, read it. There's nothing. There's a tiny bit of, you know, when the female main character is, you know, when the relationship is blooming with the male main character, there's a little bit, I wouldn't even call it spice. I'd call it like steam. Nothing is graphically explained. It's so good. So good. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. I'm going to go finish my tea. I've got yarn to twist. I've got to get the trailer ready to go. So I will see you next week, right back here. Same time, same place. I hope that you're all well. I hope that you're all having a great week. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And until then, happy making. Bye.